Well, good morning on day 3001 from this beautiful world we have. I have render distance cranked so we can see everything. I'm gonna have to turn it down because my frames they're hurting. But look, this is what we're doing. Now, if you saw the thumbnail and then probably the title of this episode, then you already know, but let's pretend like you don't. We're starting our big 3,000 day block mega project, and that's going to be a castle. Yeah, we're finally going to do a castle, and it's going to go right on top of this mountain. Now, I alluded this several times, so if you knew, you got to let me know in the comments. I knew you were doing a castle. I knew it. I have a plan. It's going to be a massive castle. I plan on filling up most of the top of this entire mountain. Eventually, then we're going to work the town around the mountain, so that way on all sides is completely covered with medieval city. I know a few people commented like, hey, I really like New Hope. Do more medieval building. I'm going to fill this whole thing up with medieval builds. You're going to love it so much. But we're starting the castle tonight. I have a whole bunch of shulkers filled with stone and stone brick and cobblestone, some dirt for some spruce up there, and I think we are ready to get started. It's like I'm heading off for a million years, but I'm not. I'm just heading, well, just right here, just barely to the top. Now, I'm going to be starting this castle without a huge plan, but we're going to be building the biggest part first. And yeah, that is a little weird, right? We're going to be building the biggest part first, but because I want to know where the height is going to be the entire time that I'm building everything else so that it can be a little bit lower. I want to take this middle part to build height. Yes, I certainly do. And that means we need to bring down a couple of these peaks just so I can have a nice flat base here for the actual central tower. It's going to be easier to see if I do this in a time lapse. So let's do it. Yeah, okay, so starting with a giant big flat area, not usually my style. I usually like to sort of leave the landscape as is. However, that being said, I'm going to be doing a custom sort of area to come up to this, and I think I want all these towers to be very symmetrical. So I think we're good. It's roundish with this. Now, I'm going to be building this without any gradient at all because I have a plan of, instead of the gradient, although there probably will be some on the roof, we're going to do like a prismarine roof, I think, but there's going to be a lot of ice all over this entire castle. That's going to be a very finishing touch. So we're going to go with an old school, sort of regular stone, cobblestone, stone brick, sort of general palette with probably prismarine, maybe the warped wood sort of roofs, and probably spruce dark oak, the usual as far as a wood trim. I think it should be a really nice palette. Now, I need to build these things up. I got to keep an eye on the height. The height right now is 169. I think I have till 300. Is that right? It was 256 before, maybe even more, maybe like 310. Regardless of whatever it is, I want to use up all of it, but I don't want to max out on the very first thing. So these are going to be pretty tall towers, but then we're going to start to connect everything together, okay? All right, let's take a look at it. Okay, imagine if you will. Now I just put my render up to 32 chunks, and imagine if you will, you're just hanging out here in New Hope. Oh, you see what I'm looking at? That's the beginning. This castle is going to be absolutely massive, but you're going to see it just towering above this entire giant city. Oh, man. This is going to be so awesome. Oh, I cannot wait. Now, I need to fill in some of the things here, and I want to make some giant arches before I start into sort of the next level. We are up to Y200. I'm keeping a close eye on how tall I get because I don't want to run out of space. I want to have a nice natural conclusion to this. I'll probably have a big dome in the middle. So, I just made a stone cutter because I think what I'm going to do is maybe go like a, maybe just a combination of 50% each, I think. And I think what I'm going to do is connect these right here. I'm just going to kind of go across here. Let's see, kind of like this across. I think that'll allow these things to jut out quite a bit and bring in some nice big arches here. I'll do that and then we'll see what we like. That was an amazing amount of work, and that took about 2 hours or so in the time lapse. And look, you can see, oh, it's starting to come in. Yes, things are starting to work, but we are still only around like 203, 204, something like that. I had to go get more stone. I was basically out, and I decided to move my storage system up here. Oh shoot, you know what I realized just now? I forgot. I think I left a couple things down on the ground. Let's see if they despawned. I've been sorting stuff for a little while and ran an inventory. No, they didn't. Yes. Okay, I mean, it's just a stone cutter in a bed. Not that big of a deal, but still, I hate to waste, waste not, whatnot, as Benjamin Franklin. Is that who said that? I think it is, possibly. So here's the plan. I want to go up in the middle, and then once I get to the very top, oh boy, that's hard to explain. See that middle area? I made a bit of an octagon, I think, right? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, an octagon. So I want to put this up pretty high, and then once I know how high that can be, then I can work on sort of these 4 towers that are going to be in the center, but not as tall as that one. And a lot of that's going to be just sort of the right view and the right sight lines. I don't do anything creative test worlds. I sort of just do it all on the fly. So I got to do some more on the fly here. Now, I think probably, oh man, I really need room. I really need room for stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I need a bigger storage room. This little temporary thing is already running out. But I'm going to start working on this and taking this up as high as I think it should probably go. And then come back and we'll sort of start to discuss. I needed a lot of cobblestone because these are going to be the pillars that are going to be a mixture of stone brick and smooth stone, and then this is just going to be cobblestone the whole way up in this octagon shape. And I have pillars on both sides so it looks good from the inside and the outside. I don't know how tall exactly I'm going to go though, so I'm just going to have to sort of play it by ear. Like I say, we're at what is this, 206? Yeah, so I don't know. It might go up another 30 blocks. Some pretty tall. Like, we're going to get way up there. This goes up so far. I did some even after the time lapse just to sort of see what I could come up with because I want to expand the tower outwards and upward, and here's what I did thus far. Oh, I think it looks really, really, really cool. I'm trying to make sure to leave lots of room for the prismarine because I think that is going to be what really sells this entire thing. Now, I'm also trying to expand, as I say, I'm going up because I am only at 246, so I have like 80 more blocks or so, 70 more blocks, something like that, to go before I run out of space, and I want to use every bit of them. So that means I need to get a little wider so that then after that I can come down and get more narrow and not look like it's just a skinny tiny little tower up to the top, right? I want to give it some girth going all the way up. So I came up with the idea of expanding out right here just using some cobblestone because I haven't used a lot of cobblestone on the outside, and I think it'd be nice to mix it up a little bit. I mainly want to stick with the stone brick and smooth stone for the bulk of it, but I think a little bit of this darker is going to look good. Now, I am going to be using definitely some deep slate here, maybe even quite a bit of deep slate for the accents. This is still the just rough it in phase. I'm just roughing it in. None of this is permanent. Now this is going to be a steeped roof right here, like a peaked roof made out of prismarine. So I guess I could just do this. I could actually put the roof in right now, as far as just like put the size of the roofs, because it's going to be something along these lines here. So I think it'll be like, right, like something like that. Yeah, I think that'll help me sort of just know where this is going to be. Things are looking really good here. I really like where we're going so far, but we have a long way to go. I don't know if I'm going to get in this episode to like all the detailing and stuff, or if we're just going to sort of rough it in this episode and go from there, but at least I want to have a good idea of where we're headed for this build here. It's already taken me like 25 in-game days or so of working, and I haven't slept that often, so I've worked through a bunch of nights. So that's a lot of time so far on just this, but it's going to be absolutely epic. I mean, look around. You're going to see this from like all the farm everywhere. As the city continues to go over this way, oh man, you're going to see it from everywhere. It's going to be so cool. I'm so excited about this build. The progress is feeling really good. I'm just about to the point where I'm going to have to put the steeple right up there. I'll probably do a little bit more, maybe like 7 or 8 blocks up, and then I'll put the roof on on. I don't have any roofing materials yet. I'm probably going to do dark prismarine, like I said, so I'm going to have to probably go spend some serious time at the Guardian farm. But you know what? Things are looking good. I like it so far. The next thing I want to do is I want to add 4, and this is going to be the pain. I want to add 4 exactly the same towers on these 4 sort of outside exterior towers here. Now, they got to be the same. I want everything to be symmetrical, and so that means this is a little bit of a painstaking process. It means I do a little bit and then copy 3 times, do a little bit, copy 3 times, do a little bit. There's no other real way to do it. I'm not using Lightmatica. I didn't design this in Creative World. This is just on the fly, so hopefully I can come up with something good. I need to end these towers before this guy right there, so I'm just kind of keeping an eye on that little overhang there. I want to make sure that this tower doesn't butt into it. I've decided that I need to break slightly away from the, well, gray, like the cobblestone and stone brick, and I want to bring in some quote-unquote color, and I think that color is going to be white terracotta, and probably quite a bit of it. I wanted just some areas to pop more than others. Not that many, but I don't have very much terracotta, so I brought 6 shulkers, and I am just going to spend a decent amount of time here farming up as much terracotta as I can. Who knows, we might end up using the orange and all the other colors that you get when you're farming this stuff in other places, but for this kingdom, I'm pretty sure I want to stick to the gray and the white terracotta, because this is going to be absolutely covered in ice and snow and everything else. And I think, as much as I complain about terracotta coloration and not being like real colors, because it all has that sort of terracotta hue, in this case, it's going to be nice, because then the snow is going to be super white and really pop, and that's a good thing. It'll be nice and different. You know, I cannot believe it, but after all this time, I'm basically back in New Hope again, like all the time. I can't believe it. So I'm going to be here quite a bit. So this storage room is back on the table, if you can believe it. Man, I can't, after moving so much stuff to Steelport and then Gabor. I mean, we're still going to be working on those places 100%, but it's kind of weird to be back here in New Hope, but I like it. I mean, I do love New Hope, and the storage building works okay. I may need to expand it, though, if we're going to be here for a little while. Oh, darn it, it's nighttime, but look at that. Look, can you see it? Oh, yeah, you can see it. Oh, man, it's so cool. I have the render set to just enough that right outside the storage building, the storage room, you can just barely see it. Oh, it's so cool. In the last episode of Lore from the Fixxiverse, Steve Tepic called together the full council for the first time. Captain Watt, Edwin the Master Mage, Levinfawn IV, the King of the Avon, Dr. Pickett, and the Breath of the Dragon joined him in his new Steelport office to discuss Tracy's inability to contact the future duo of Fred and James. After learning the signal was being intercepted of the broken remnants of the moon, despite the risk of alerting Cal to their growing technological level, the council voted to contact the moon and see exactly what is going on. Tracy, is the connection to the moon ready?
Connection secure. Video feed available.
Video feed? What? How?
Unknown.
Okay, well, connect and, well, put on screen. Hello? What are you? Are you Cal? Cal? I don't think so, anyway. No, my name is Hank. Okay, Hank, why are you hijacking our signal? I'm not sure what you mean. I only recently, man, this is weird, woke up and started working on my primary protocol. Primary protocol. That sounds very official. Who are you working for? Well, myself, everyone, people who've been dead for millions of years. It's very complicated. Well, why don't you catch me up? Okay, so to sum up, a once great civilization on this planet made you an android body and uploaded your brain into it, then sent you to the moon just as they essentially destroyed themselves, sending the survivors back to the Stone Age. You lived on the moon for 100 days before making contact with a probe from the AI Cal, who was preparing to wipe out the remaining life on your planet, and you blew up the moon to destroy him and yourself. Yeah, that's basically it. So, Hank, how are you alive? That certainly is the question. I have no idea. I am just about out of stone, unfortunately, and I mean like out of stone basically in this entire world. I think I have checked everywhere and I don't have very much left. Unfortunately, that means I need to get to digging. Now, I have a digging project here in Gabor that is going to be a huge project at some point. This is going to be the place, this is underneath the raid farm. At some point what I want to do is I want to dig under this and dig way down and have a piece of the moon that actually landed here that has some major big lore implications. I think I've talked about it a little bit on videos before. This is going to be like one of the places where the pillagers, since this is like a raid farm and everything, it's going to be where the pillagers fight with people over sort of control of this giant moon rock. The moon rock's going to have some sort of mystical properties I think you'll really enjoy for the lore, but I do need to dig this whole thing out to actually build where the moon rock has been embedded, and then people have built this sort of lid on it to maybe contain its power or maybe keep it secret. I'm not sure exactly why, but we'll figure that out in the lore. But hey, I had one question that I want to make sure I mention so I don't forget is, can you help me name the new castle? Because I would like to actually, you know, what I often do is I build something and I call it nothing the whole time it's built, and then long after it's built do we finally get around to naming it. Well, I want to name the castle like right away, and I'm kind of thinking it should have a name something like Frost or Ice or Cold or something like that. So leave me a comment down below, and whoever picks the name that I like the best, something like that. Like I was kind of I've been watching Game of Thrones again. I've been rewatching it because I'm getting ready for House of Dragon, and I thought, well, I should just rewatch Game of Thrones because I really enjoyed that series until the end, and I thought, oh, it would be really fun to rewatch it, and it has been. I'm still in season 1 again, but it's been great. But I always like how they call Castle Black. I always thought that was just a cool name. It's so simple and so obvious and everything, but I do think it's a cool name. So, you know, something, give the castle something name that works, and whatever seems right, I'll pick, and we'll call it that forever. I spent a good deal of time gathering just this little amount of materials. It doesn't look like that much, but yeah, it took a while. I went to a warped forest in the nether and just harvested a ton of this stuff. I went to my farm in Steelport and harvested a bunch of this wood, and then made some of these planks I'm going to need, and some dark prismarine. Boy, oh boy, man. You don't get much dark prismarine bang for your buck. I thought that you would get 8 from each craft, but you only get 1. So that's like 8 prismarine shards and 1 ink gives you 1 block. Yikes. I guess I didn't really know that. So here's the gradient I'm going to be using for the roof, and I think it's going to be nice. Now I'm thinking this is going to be in the bottom and this is going to be on the top basically. And then I also I made a couple of these stairs because I just want to see sort of where it lays, because I'm going to have to use it. So the stairs are going to be sort of in the upper half. Down in the bottom I'll be using the prismarine stairs sort of here I made a couple. Here we go. So I'll be using the prismarine stairs as a transition sort of here to help the shape a little bit. So I think this is going to work. I'm a little nervous about look at that. A raid found me even way up here in my castle. A raid found me. So here's what I think I want to do, because I have a bunch of these roofs. Have I even shown you this roof yet? I don't think I have. Here's what I want to do. I want to start with boy, how am I going to do this? I think what I want to do is I want to start down here with these peaked roofs, and this will be the darkest part. So this is going to be the prismarine, like right here. As a matter of fact, this is all going to be prismarine, I think. And then what we'll do is after we get down this, I'll start it up here, and we'll start to gradually gradient it up. Does that make sense? I think that'll look good. If I do it too suddenly, like if I did it on a roof that's this small, I don't think that it would pull off, right? I think it'd just be too small to get things. So I think these just have to be straight up dark prismarine. I'm just like looking each one of these blocks, bam, 8 prismarine, 8 prismarine, 8 prismarine. Aha, so much. And I have so much of this to use. Okay, well, whatever, I'm not going to complain. Okay. And then these are other ones. These are going to have to be all prismarine too, probably. Unless I want to do a little, this is far enough away, I might be able to do a little one here. And then down here, again, it's like a small gradient here. I hope this will work. I'm a little nervous about it, but, well, let's give it a shot and see what happens. Okay, it's starting to look really cool. I'm starting to really be a believer. See if I can stick this landing. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring up all these. I did 3 last time. I think it worked really well, so... Okay. It's so awkward. You can't, like, I can't get up. Oh, you know, is that cool? Is that cool? Is that something we should do? Like this? I don't know, maybe. Get a little love on the sides. I might actually like that. I did that totally by accident just to get up there, but that might be okay. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so what we're gonna do is do the little sort of peak steeple things, and I've been doing before on the top because I wanted to get up to build height. So on the top I use a nether brick fence, I think, but instead I'm gonna be using warp fence. I'm gonna go change that out at the top. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's take a look. I think that'll be, it's very pointy, but I like that actually. Totally accent, but yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm back here in Gabor because unfortunately I am once again just about out of stone. Here's what I want to do. I want to actually make a ton of cracked stone brick. So I'm going to grab 6 shulkers or so of my cracked stone brick, utilize both of my amazing smelters, and get to work on that over in Steelport. That's where it is. And so I want to start texturing. I don't think I'm going to get all the texturing done probably this episode. This episode already has gone quite long. I've already done a lot of building this episode, and that's a good thing, but I don't want to stretch this out all that much longer. This is supposed to be a project that takes, you know, the whole 3,000 day block and not is done today. So yeah, we're gonna keep on working on that over time, but I do want to do at least texture in the cobblestone. What I usually do with cobblestone is I texture cobblestone with cracked stone brick just to give it some extra love, little extra oomph. It helps a lot, and you know, it's pretty simple to do. I don't really do it with rhyme or reason. I am going to be doing some gradients on the colors on the roof and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to be doing a gradient on the actual stone. I think that can just be sort of in the background, no big deal. You know, the nice thing about digging down here is I get a ton of copper, I get a ton of andesite, which is really, really, really nice. So, you know, it's not all bad to get all this stone, but it does take some time. So I'm going to smelt up a whole bunch of cracked stone brick, and then I'll meet you back over in the castle. Yeah, I got to get a name for this place. The next thing I want to do is talking about this variation. I just smelted a ton of cracked stone brick, and that's going to be nice, but I need a little bit more variation than just that. I think that I want to add an andesite, and I don't have very much andesite, sadly. So I got to go mining for it, and I'm not really sure where the best place to mine is. Now, I did a little bit of Google research here, and it said basically anywhere above or below, you know, 62 or whatever. It's not down in deep slate level, it's up here somewhere, and man, I don't know where the heck I'm supposed to look for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a whole bunch of sticks. I have my shulkers, and I'm just going to go mining, and I guess I'm going to go mining at like Y20, something like that, so I can get a bunch of iron too. I mean, the last thing I need in the world is iron, to be honest, but I guess I'll just go strip mining, collect stone, and just grab whatever andesite patches I can find, I guess. Let me tell you something that's really annoying. So I found a giant andesite deposit just over there, right in through that little hole. It's just like 1 block out of beacon range. So I have to either move my beacon or every 10 seconds or so run back and get another stab of beacon. Why can't we just have haste potions? Just give us haste potions. I'll pay anything for it. Well, if you're wondering where we're at, we are on day 3050. I've spent 50 Minecraft days on this, and I haven't slept that many times. I mean, I'm not like Looney or Lagundo, who never ever sleep, but I've not slept that much. But check out the progress. Oh man, this place, it looks so, and remember, this is just the middle, right? Like, this is just the central peak. There's going to be so much more castle coming on the way. Oh, look, it's a mob party. I began a little detailing, not a lot, but I started bringing in some of these pillars, and I put in the andesite and the cracked stone brick in patches. Instead of go like block here, block there, the old way I used to do it, I tried to do some of the patches that I've seen some people do on YouTube recently, and I think I like it. It's growing on me. You know, it's anything like new. It takes a little while to learn, but this is really starting to come together. Now, I do want to use some warped wood accents in different places, but I want some time going up, some vertical time. Like, I don't want it to be down the very bottom. I want it to be at least some of the way up before I do things like these fences and some more little accents here. I just gotta find just the right place to put it. But there's some other things I can add in too. Just some stuff like in this area, like for example right here, like this could absolutely be another one of these things. I just think it's going to help. The more I do this kind of stuff where I'm just adding in little things like this, it's going to just bring in a little bit more interest as the tower goes up. I don't need a lot because there's stuff on top of it, but a little bit here and there. I have done so much grind and putting in details and all that kind of stuff that I need to just cut the cord. I just need to stop and walk away for a little bit, but I am really, really, really happy with this so far. I mean, would you just look at this build? Everything from the details to the colors, and it's very simple, right? It's very like old school Minecraft stuff, but you gotta imagine that we're gonna have like ice hanging off of it, and this is just the beginning stage of an absolutely epically enormous castle. I mean, I think this is probably going to be maybe my favorite build ever. It's early to say that after one episode, but so far so good. But look at the view from New Hope. Oh, are you kidding me? I mean, this is going to be so awesome. Oh man, if you get just the right angle, the way it just like is just up there. And then, you know, we know that we're gonna have more towers and stuff sort of in front of it, giving it even more depth. But would you just look at that? I mean, if that's not the screenshot, I don't know what, or the thumbnail, I don't know what is. We'll see y'all next episode from Survival with Fix. Bye everybody.